Hey YouTube, it's me, Arthur. Um, I'm making this video from a decidedly awkward angle, and I have a few things to talk about. Mostly about my top surgery that's coming up in just a little over a week, and also my changes on T. I'm 16 months, and also general life things. I think I'll start with that first. I just finished up the semester. I passed my barrier examination for the music performance track, which means I get to study music for the next 2 years until I hopefully graduate. Um, uh, right now I have a really decent GPA, like the most decent I've had since I came to school, which is great. I submitted a presentation on musical semiotics to the research forum that our university hosted this past March, and I won second in the whole liberal arts field, which was good. I got a tiny little chunk of change for that, but the award alone was worth it. Um, let's see. I'm still in my same apartment, and I will be until July 31st when my lease is up. I'll be staying here for the summer after I recover from surgery, and I'll be working at a hotel, which isn't actually not that bad, considering I worked at a Wendy's last summer, and that was pretty damn near miserable. Yeah, and I'm going to be leasing on a really cool house tomorrow with 6 other people, and that's going to be exciting. It's a really cool house. I'm sure you'll see it eventually. Now that I realize that everything kind of came extremely fast in recent months, like pretty much spring breaks, which was the beginning of March, to like right now, which is the beginning of May, was a complete blur, and I was like running on practically no sleep and like multiple pots of coffee at a time. It was horrible, but so for now, and I've been sleeping and exercising a lot, so that's good. My parents are here in town right now. I'm going to be sending some of my stuff back with them before surgery, like my Xbox and basically things that you can't reasonably carry on a train. So next, I guess I'll talk about my progress on tea. I want to start out by saying that tea is not something that will make you skinny. It'll make you hungry, which means you'll get fat if you don't work out. And you'll still probably get a little fat at first. Not that I really minded. My body image throughout the whole process has actually been fairly decent. I think the first few months it was awkward because I had water face, which I really couldn't help. My jaw has kind of gotten a little bit square if you look at it straight on. So yeah, that's that. Building muscle mass has been a lot easier, probably because I've been doing it a little bit more regularly. I'm kind of a string bean, anyway you see it, but I've gotten a little bigger. I'm not going to lift up my shirt and show you my fairly pathetic abdominal muscles, but the extra energy to run and do physical activity really helps. I've also gotten a lot hairier. Like, I thought it would kind of level off, but like my arm hair is really visible, and like I'm starting to get hair on the back of my hands and up my fingers. My leg hair is pretty much all over my legs now, and like all the way up my ass, which is pretty unpleasant because I have to manscape pretty dutifully. My happy trail is now like a happy stomach. It's like a happy treasure beach kind of thing. And I still have really weird shoulder hair. I mean, I've been shaving my chest because like that just looks kind of weird to me. I mean, I figure eventually I'll get over it because I really like the idea of chest hair. I've been shaving my face pretty much once every couple of days or once every other day if I have like an occasion that would warrant being clean shaven, but like all of this right here is like this, it's dark and it grows in close to every day. I'm starting to get steady sideburn growth too. My face really itches because all of the hair is starting to come in evenly. Like here is actually getting kind of bristlier than it was before, which I guess is anything on a fetus face. uh, my hairline hasn't really changed. I am starting to get kind of driveways on either side, but it's not like that noticeable. Um, I haven't really recognized any changes in my voice, although I'm sure they're present as they always are. The top of my voice is a little bit more open, and my shit cracks more regularly than it did before, which is kind of backwards in my mind, but it's whatever. I'm trying to think. Singing goes from being really easy to really hard. I can project in my voice now, and it has more meat than it did before when it was kind of airy. Um, I've been experiencing at random intervals body cramping, specifically in my upper legs and sometimes like my lower back. And I'm not really sure if that has anything to do with being on hormones or like being physically fit, but it's kind of freaky. Also, like cramping has been going on, like not very often at all, but I'm told that this is like a sign that eventually like a hysterectomy will be necessary, which is kind of terrifying. I'm planning on having my levels checked because I feel like I've been a little angstier lately. In addition to the fact that I have cramps sometimes, it means maybe my dose needs to be adjusted because my body is reacting. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of behind on that actually because this semester has been way too busy. Um, but yeah, that's that. Uh, haven't been really depressed. If anything, I've been more like bitchy. I'm not really bothered by that. I'm sure other people might be, but that's whatever. That's their problem. Um, I have surgery coming up in pretty much a week from tomorrow. I'm going to be here. My parents are actually here right now to celebrate Mother's Day. They're going to be leaving Tuesday morning. I'm going to be giving them some stuff. Pretty much just going to clean up my life here, pack a bag. I'm going to see my chosen family in St. Louis on Wednesday during the day, and then I'm going to leave Thursday morning and kind of settle in at home in Chicago. And then Monday the 19th, I go in at 8. There's been some weird stuff going on with clerical bullshit at the hospital, like all of my checks and stuff got signed for last Monday, and the hospital fee hasn't been posted yet as of like Thursday. So I'm a little worried about that, but it's kind of out of our hands, so it's not really our fault. Um, I'm still dealing with like pre-surgery anxiety, and I'm pretty much just playing it off as my tendency to overthink like everything. Um, I know that like this is what I want, and like this is the aesthetic that I want, and it's the level of comfort that I want, because at this point I have a very low level of bodily dysphoria, and I have ever since I started T, but I think that this is the next step because binding limits my ability to do my job as a musician. It makes it really hard to play and sometimes to sing, and it makes it really hard to like be physically active and be proactive at work. Um, I've had a lot of binding injuries. I mean, it's been close to 5 years or more, maybe. I haven't really been keeping that close of track, but it's time. And I think really most of my worries are centered around the actual going under to do it, and like the afterness, like the aftercare, the recovery, the soreness, that kind of thing. I'm not really like pumped about that. I don't think anybody would be. I'm a little worried about the results. I'm kind of a vain piece of shit, but I think that overall I'll be really happy. I mean, I'm like preparing myself mentally to be sort of okay with a certain level of mediocrity, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Um, and I think in the aftercare, I'm going to try and be really smart about how much I exert myself and caring for my skin and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. Like, I've been feeling really introspective lately about this whole thing, as if my whole life's gonna change, or I'm gonna, like, wake up and it'll be like pressing play again. Because even though I don't have a lot of bodily dysphoria, the whole state of being trans has always been sort of a weird thing for me because, like, I've never been one to, like, let it rule over my life, or I don't want it to rule over my life. Because I have, like, a life. I have a lot of things that I have to do and get done, and sort of just, like, rolling around and listening to dysphoria is, like, not part of my agenda. So I think, like, this is going to be a good thing to, like, get off the table forever, and that way I won't have to think about it anymore, and I won't have that, like, that part of the trappings of being trans. Like, I'm not proud, and I'm not true scum, but, like, I just, I'm so over it. I don't know. That was kind of complicated, and I'm pretty sure I just talked myself in a circle. um, that might be something that I talk about later. But yeah, I think I think I'm ready. It's one of those things I don't think you could ever be ready for. Um, it's not keeping me up at night yet, and I'm gonna hopefully talk to some other people that have gone through the process sometime this week. So I'll be able to find a little bit of advice or closure about that. But other than that, probably the next time I see you, I will either be pre-op the night before or post-op the day of. So for now, you guys stay chill. If you haven't finished your semesters, keep on keeping on. Good luck. Be safe.